to share something. Day after day, without fail, for the last few decades, I've been in the habit of this thing called eating. Food eating. Have you tried it? Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm kind of addicted, and it's not like whiskey or meth. You can't just quit altogether, I don't think. They say to cut ties with your enablers if you're dependent on something, but where do you go in search of friends who have given up on eating altogether? It's like gymnastics camp, hospice, I don't know. Sounds like a short-term relationship to me. I'm used to that. Anyway, I'm better now. I mean, it was in my early 20s that I hit bottom, or peaked, depending on how you value fat grams. Started binging a lot in front of my friends, talking about wanting to become a competitive eater. And my good friends did what good friends do, which is they started to make a film about me. I became the subject of a documentary tentatively titled "Didn't You Never Have No Dream?" And it shows me in training for a competitive eating contest. Like 10 Oscar Mayer wieners and buns, very leisurely consumed in 8 minutes. Big bag of Malto-meal crispy rice with whole milk out of a salad bowl with a serving spoon in 10 minutes. A Long John Silver's family pack. That's 8 pieces of fish, fries and pups for 4. I skipped the slaw. I mean, I continue to maintain that consumption of coleslaw is a rumor. But I eat all of this in 20 minutes in my friend's kitchen, lumber back to my house, don't even take my shoes off. I just splay across the bed like a snow angel, drunk on fat. And all of this leads to the big moment, which is an eating contest, tailor-made for me. It's my favorite burrito at my favorite greasy taqueria. It's called the El Gordo, 2-pound burrito, gristly steak dripping with orange grease, a slurry of lardy refried beans, white cheese, indeterminate, in a tortilla, 14-inch tortilla, all wrapped up and seared. And it's like, if you're gunning for a bypass, you can't pass this by. I'm accustomed to eating these every day, and all of a sudden the classic rock station in town has announced an eating contest, all you can eat in 45 minutes. I'm ready. I've been training for this, drinking liters of water to stretch my stomach out. That day I just eat shredded mini wheats and clean myself out completely. By 7 o'clock I am ready. I dispatch my first El Gordo in under 3 minutes. I see grown-ass men just dropping their barely nibbled burrito, getting up and walking out. I'm on the road to victory here. Got my second one down in 10 minutes. These are 2-pound burritos now. And then, all the eating you're really gonna do in a contest like this, you're gonna do in 15 or 20 minutes before your body starts to notice. And, and I realize I'm kind of done. I've got a lot of time left. I've got to bide my time. I'm taking little nibbles, drinking sips of water. I'm way ahead of everybody else. Everybody else falls away except for me and the guy in the booth in front of me. He's a college wrestler. He's got a pack of bros around him cheering him on, chanting his college wrestler nickname, Ho-dee, Ho-dee, Ho-dee. I've got nobody with me except, in the midst of all this little girl, I'm going to say manifests. And I still don't know whether she was real. 7 or 8 years old, cornrows, chipmunk cheeks, beautiful big brown eyes, a Sunday school dress. She gets up on the ledge right over my booth and starts asking me these questions, these probing questions, with her pinky in the corner of her mouth. Do you like to eat a lot? Do you like to eat burritos? What do you like in your burritos? Drool just issuing a little bit. And I'm trying to be polite with her, but I'm also looking for someone in the restaurant to come claim her, and she doesn't seem to belong to anybody. She belongs to me. Is she my therapist? Is she my conscience? I don't know. You don't do soul work in a greasy taqueria. You don't do shadow work. I mean, you go there to eat in the shadows. Fast forward to the last minute of the contest. I hear somebody say 30 seconds, and Hodie's been like going to town. I've got 3.5 burritos in me. That's like 7 pounds, the size of an average newborn. And I'm set to pop. I'm at 40 weeks. And Hodie is like taking bites and pressing it down, hoping to win by a nose, as his bros are chanting, Hodie, Hodie, Hodie. And the little girl is there, continuing to ask me questions. Do you like to eat a lot? Why do you like to eat so much? And I look at her directly in the eyes. And she says to me, are you gonna be sick? And I give her a look back that I know is an animal response. And not just a look, but a sound. Something like, and she knows instinctively it's time to go. Because it's time for it all to go. I begin issuing this torrent, this deluge of pulverized burrito. It all comes up. I've got my hands in front of my mouth. Some of it shoots on the ceiling. Much of it is on the back and shoulders of Hodie's friend sitting in front of me. On the table, it's covered, the plastic plate, the sheaf of greasy napkins, a pair of comp tickets to a Steppenwolf concert at a county fair an hour away. I'm covered. The little girl gets caught on the leg a little bit as she runs away. And there's a pause and a realization that I have just defaulted with seconds to go. And Hodie's friends just let it sink in and then go, yeah! So what is to be taken away from this? I'm 22 years old. I don't return for another El Gordo for nearly 48 hours. Someday I'll learn. Thank you.